My fellow Hourglass fans, I have big news to share with you today. Hourglass is now officially offering custom palettes. Moment of silence, please. Let me repeat that. Custom palettes from Hourglass. You guys know I've been reviewing Hourglass palettes and powders for the last few years. They're my favorite launch every single year. I use them all the time. They're the most reliable, best powders on the market. And with my reviews, always one of the most commented things is I wish Hourglass would let us customize, because a lot of times the colors that they put together aren't suited to everyone's skin type, or maybe they have some of the shades in the palettes. So I think this might be a little bit of a test run here. But on the Hourglass website today, there is a custom palettes option. So I'm going to walk through that with you guys today, as well as swatch the shades that I have that are available to help you customize. But alongside the customization, they also pre-curated 5 palettes, none of which have new shades. These are all repeat shades. But I'm also going to go through the pre-curated palettes for you guys, just in case the curations are something that you fancy. Now, the bad news about this, from what I've seen, is this is not available anywhere besides the States, which is why I think this might be a trial run, hopefully, because I know I had a couple friends from the UK tell me that it wasn't available for them. So the 5 palettes are available worldwide. The custom aspect seems to be only available in the US right now. I want to take you to the website right now so that you can see how they have it all configured. So I'm on the Hourglass page right now. It's currently early access, so I will have it linked in the description box if you want to take a look. So it's going to be the Ambient Lighting Edit Quad, $78. So right here in the curated palette section, you have the 5 palettes that are available. I'm going to be swatching all of these today and showing you and talk about what's in them. But if you go to details, it has in each of the palettes what the shade names are. And like I said, these are all existing shades. Hourglass says these are featuring the best-selling ambient lighting powders. And something I want to clarify, I was going through the Hourglass website in their cheek section and looking through their permanent range. For example, the blushes that they sell as individuals already. There are a couple overlap shades, the blushes being the most of them, but there's a lot of shades available in the custom palettes that are not available in the blush, the bronzer, the highlights, all of that. So there are most of the shades are not available in individuals, which I think is awesome, because honestly, you guys, I would have been just as happy if the custom shades here were the same as their permanent range, because it's just better in a palette form. So the fact that these are shades where a lot of them are not sold individually, you guys know what I'm saying? I think that that's even better. So like I said, you have the options. The names are Dawn, Dusk, Golden Hour, Sunset, Sunrise. This is reminding me, if you read Agatar, of the different courts, a court of day, a court of dawn. We have that here in the 5 palettes. Now, one thing that I'm seeing, I don't feel as though they were very curated for different ranges of skin tones. That's what I thought that they would do. And we'll talk about that when I get into the swatches, but the one for deeper skin tones is going to be Sunset, but I'll swatch that for you. Now, the exciting part, the custom palettes. So you're going to come here in the custom section. Now, I don't have this, so I can't tell you exactly how it works. I was hoping that this would be like a mix or match option where you could they were magnets and you could take them in and out. I don't think that's the case. I think they pop them in for you and you get what you get and you don't get upset. Hopefully, we'll have to wait and see when people get this in hand, but I think they do it for you at their distributor, and I don't think you're able to take them out, but we'll see. I don't know. And you'll see the custom palettes are final sale. So make sure you're going through and making sure that you like the shades that you have and that you don't already own them. We know Hourglass names are very confusing. It's easy to mix one up with another. So make sure you're checking that you don't have the shades already. And so how it works, you can add in as many blushes, bronzers, highlights that you want in the quad. You don't have to have one setting powder, one bronzer, one blush, one highlight. You can add 4 blushes if you want to, and you can go through with finishing powders, the blushes, the bronzers, the highlights. And so let's say I want all blushes. You just click on the shade you want and you add to palette. Then I want this blush, add to palette, add to palette, add to palette, and then add to cart. Now, unfortunately, you are not allowed to order more than one. Like, it's only one per customer. Let's see what the gifts with purchases are. So we'll have it here. But anyways, only one per customer is what I'm trying to say. But I'm really, really excited about this. Now, when it's great to create a custom palette is, especially when digging through to see what shades you don't already have and curating it to exactly how you would like. This is exciting because as a customer, as somebody who reviews them, I've seen so many of you just want custom palettes. Finally, you can go through and pick out what you don't have. And I'm going to swatch all of these that I have for you, but I'm going to do 2 sections of swatchings. So first, if you're only interested in the curated palettes, I'm going to swatch what I have from each of the palettes. Surprisingly, I don't have 6 shades. So I don't have all of them. Maybe I'll put together a quad for myself, but I do have most of them. So this section right here is going to be for the pre-curated quad section. I also have timestamps for the custom colors to help you. So if you're interested in curated palettes, let's take a look at what we have. Of the 5, Dawn, Dusk, Golden Hour, and Sunrise. Now when I was taking a look, not all of these have one of each formula. If you want my advice, so long as you don't have the shades already in the palettes, I would go for a quad that has one of each formula. So that's going to be Dawn. So you'll see it has a lighting powder, a blush, a highlight powder, and a bronze. That's how you're going to get the most versatility out of the palette. So Dawn is one that has each, Golden Hour has one of each formula, and Sunrise has one of each formula. For myself and my skin tone, my favorite pre-curated palette is easily the Dawn palette. Now, I was able to get all 4 shades just within 2 palettes that I have. So if you're a collector, if you have the Lighting Edit Sculpture and the Edit Unlocked Jellyfish, you have all 4 shades. So this palette consists of Dim Light Finishing Powder, Mood Exposure Blush, Opal Strobe Light Highlight, and then Lunar Bronze Bronzer. So here are the swatches. Remember, Hourglass colors don't swatch good. It's really about how they apply to the face. But the Ambient Lighting Powder, where is it? The Ambient Lighting Powder in Dim Light's a natural beige. The blush, Mood Exposure, is a soft plum, which is one of my all-time favorite blushes. Opal Strobe Light is a highlight that's like a pale rose gold. And then Lunar Bronze is like a matte warm bronze. So let me show you how I would apply them. I'm gonna start off with Lunar Bronze on the outskirts. This does have some nice warmth to it. This is the only one that I'm gonna demo on my face because I do need to get some color. And like I said, it is my favorite color combo. Minus the bronzer, this is a more cool leaning palette. So it's really good with like purple looks or cooler toned looks. And you guys know where I stand when it comes to Hourglass powders. They're the best in the business. They blur. They have a soft, subtle skin-like glow. They make you look really angelic and ethereal. So we have that little bit of bronze. I'm gonna use my favorite blush of all time from Hourglass, which is Mood Exposure. It's just the prettiest mauve-y, pinky blush. And it looks like air on the cheeks. And then Opal Strobe Light does happen to be one of my favorite highlighters from Hourglass ever. It's pretty darn beaming, but it's that beautiful Hourglass formula, so there isn't something here that's not to love. I just think that this is a gorgeous highlighter. And then Dim Light. I have a lot of dim lights in my collection. It's one of the most popular shades. And how I like to use this really is just to diffuse everything together. I always say this is like a filter for the face, and you might not be able to see it so much when you're applying it, but I'm telling you, when you're out and about and the sun hits your face, it really just diffuses everything together. It is one of my most used powders. It's the perfect finishing powder. So this is the Dawn Quad, and if you want my personal favorite recommendation, it is by far this one. The next one is the Dusk palette. Now this one I only have 2 of the 4 shades, but I will swatch them for you. So the first shade I don't have is Sublime Flush. That's like a soft pink fused with lilac. Then we have Mood Flush, which is similar to Mood Exposure. So Mood Flush I have in the Lighting Edit Blush and Glow palette. This one doesn't have the marbling. It's a pretty smooth shade, really versatile with what you can wear it with. And then Oasis Glow I have in the Evil Eye Lighting Edit palette. This is such a stunning shade as well. Really beautiful for more fair girls. If you're customizing a palette, fair with warm undertones, you have to try this. It's also a very pretty blush topper if you have a deeper complexion. So those are the 2 that I do have. The other one that I don't have is At Night, which is described as a brick color. This is a newer shade from Hourglass, so you do get that exciting new color. Now this one, Dusk, is an all blush palette. Hourglass blushes are like my all-time favorite blush formulation, so there is value in this if you're happy with the colors that are in this palette. But like I said, I do prefer the ones with 1 of each formula, but we do have some blushes in here. Golden Hour, I'm warning you now, if you have the Elephant palette, you have all 4 shades in this quad. So from this palette, you have Soft Light, which is that soft pale peach ambient lighting powder, Beaming Strobe Light, which is a golden sun kind of highlighter. Iridescent Coral is the blush that's in the palette. This is like a peony kind of corally shade. And then Lustrous Bronze Light is also in this palette. And here are the swatches. This one would be beautiful on a more medium skin tone complexion if you missed out on the Elephant, which is one of my favorite palettes from them. You get them in here. I think it's interesting that all of the shades are already in this one palette and they curated this one, but just wanted to note that for you guys. The Sunrise palette is another good one because it has 1 of each formula. I was able to get each shade from 2 palettes. So if you have this Lighting Sculpture palette and the Edit Unlocked Leopard palette, you have all of the shades in this palette. So from the Sculpture palette, Diffuse Light and Natural Bronze Light is in this palette. And then from the Leopard palette, the Blush Iridescent Rose and Highlight Celestial Strobe Light are in this palette. So this is Diffuse Light, like kind of like a pale yellow. Iridescent Rose is a warm medium rose. Natural Bronze is a radiant warm bronze, and then Celestial Strobe Light is a golden champagne. That's in the Sunrise palette. And then the last of the curated palettes is the Sunset palette. Now this one is their token deep skin tone friendly palette. Could have used more, but at least we have the customization option. So this one, I am missing one of the blushes in Lucid Glow, which is a shimmering warm coral. So I was able to pull Transcendent Light, which is that beautiful ambient lighting finishing diffusing powder in this Transcendent Light. It's like a warm sienna shade. I can use this as like a contour myself, but it is pretty deep. And then I have the Sunset Glow blush in the Blush and Glow Lighting Edit palette right here in the corner. Where's the Lucid Glow color in? I could not find it. And then I have the Infinite Strobe Light powder, which is a warm gold. And so it's a highlight. This one is in the Snake palette. And here are my swatches of 3 of the 4 shades. So we have that Transcendent Light, Sunset Glow, which is like a terracotta-y color, and then this warm gold, Infinite Strobe Light. So those are all of the swatches I had of the curated palettes. If you're interested in any of them, hopefully my swatches could help you. Remember to check to make sure you don't already have some of these shades. But if you do, if you own at least one of the shades in each of the palettes, might I bring you over to the custom palette section where you can mix and match what you want, what you need, what would finish off your collection if you're into that. So what I'm gonna do for this one is I'm going to swatch each formula straight as it's organized in the website so that you can see the swatches of them. So if you are curating a palette, hopefully this will help you figure out what you want and need. So when it comes to the finishing powders, Hourglass offers 4. Now, interesting enough, I have the Sculpt and Set Lighting Edit palettes from Hourglass, if you were able to snag that. 3 of the 4 finishing powders are in this palette alone. So in order of the website, Diffuse Light, Dim Light, and these swatch bad. These are more about the effect of the face, but Diffuse Light and Dim Light, a little deeper. Then Soft Light, which I'm getting from the Evil Eye palette. Now these are in so many of the palettes. These are not just exclusive to these 3 palettes. They are just where I grabbed them from first. Kind of hard to see that, but that has a little bit more yellow in there. These are gonna be the boring swatches. And then back into the Sculpt and Glow Transcendent Light, which I was able to show you. So these are the finishing powders, not very exciting. The blush is a big section. There are 12 that are available. This is the one where I don't have the most numbers, so I'm gonna quickly go through it. So the first blush option is At Night, which is that brick red. That's one that I do not have. And then we have Burnished Glow, which is a warm coral. This one looks gorgeous. This one I also do not have. Then there's Iridescent Coral, which is this one right here from the Elephant palette. This one's very pretty. It has a little bit of a gold shift to it, kind of NARS Orgasm vibes. Mood Exposure, which I am digging from my Sculpture palette. This is the blush I have on. Like I said, this is one of my favorite muted, cooler toned blushes. A little bit more purple. Then there's Sublime Flush. This is a soft pink fused with lilac. I do not have this one. I might have to make a whole palette with these blushes that I do not have. The next option is Sunset Glow, which I have in the corner here from the Blush and Glow palette. They say this is like a terracotta color. It looks more pink and pan, but it definitely pulls warmer. Another blush that I do not have is Lucid Glow, which is a shimmering warm coral. Mood Flush, which is very similar to Mood Exposure. I wouldn't get both unless you love this tone. This is also from the Blush and Glow palette. So here's Mood Flush. Has a little bit more color than Mood Exposure. Oasis Glow is so stunning as well. This I have from the Evil Eye palette. This one is a shimmering warm apricot. I love this blush. It's very, very unique. Definitely recommend potentially adding this. Strobe Blush is a warm medium rose. I do not have this one to swatch for you. So here are the bronzer options. The first one is Diffuse Bronze Light, which is a cool bronze shade fused with Diffuse Light, which is one of the finishing powders. A soft yellow powder to mimic a ray of warm sunlight. This is the only bronzer I don't have. I have all of the remaining ones. Then we have Lunar Bronze. This one is from the Jellyfish palette. So this is Lunar Bronze, a matte warm brown. Lustrous Bronze Light. This one has more of a glow than the other bronzers from the Leopard palette. That's this one right here. Natural Bronze Light. This one is infused with some marbling here from the Sculpture palette. Natural Bronze Light. Solar Bronze, which is the deepest bronzer from the Snake palette. That's right here. It pulls warmer and deeper once applied, especially if you have a deeper complexion, just so you know. And then Golden Bronze Light, which is from the Sculpt and Set palette, which this one is a neutral golden bronze. You can definitely see the neutral tones here. So again, Lunar Bronze, Lustrous Bronze, Natural Bronze Light, Solar Bronze, and then Golden Bronze Light. And then lastly, for our highlights, we have Beaming Strobe Light, which is the Golden Sun from the Elephant palette. Beaming Strobe Light. Celestial Strobe Light from the Sculpt and Set palette. Celestial Strobe Light, a Golden Champagne. Love this one. Infinite Strobe Light, best for the deeper complexions, medium complexions, from the Snake palette. Pretty all over the eyelid too. Finally, the best for fair complexions, the Jellyfish palette. This is the Opal Strobe Light, and this is the one I have today. So if you're my skin tone, Opal Strobe Light or Celestial Strobe Light. Medium complexions, Beaming Strobe Light. So if you are curating a palette right now, let's go through the list one more time from top to bottom. Diffuse light, better for more fair complexions. Dim light, very versatile for the skin tones that it'll work for. Soft light for complexions like myself, but again, very versatile. And then transcendent light, definitely for those deeper complexions. Blush, I don't have at night. I don't have burnished glow, but I do have iridescent coral. I love this shade. This is a perfect shade for summer. Mood Exposure, my all-time favorite blush from them, a soft plum. Sublime Flush, a soft pink fused with lilac. I do not have this shade, but I do have Sunset Glow, a warm terracotta, definitely better for the deeper complexions. I do not have Lucid Glow, a shimmering warm coral. Mood Flush, also really beautiful mid-tone rose. Definitely great for medium complexions. Oasis Glow, a super unique color. If you ask me, I highly recommend this, especially for more fair girls. Strobe Blush, Iridescent Rose, I do not have that one. Coming into bronzers, we have Diffuse Bronze Light, another bronzer I do not have, but I do have Lunar Bronze, which is a little bit more neutral and has a bit more color. Then Lustrous Bronze, then Natural Bronze, which is more for my skin tone. Solar Bronze is going to be a little bit deeper. And then Golden Bronze Light, also a little deeper, great for golden undertones. Then we have Beaming Strobe Light, I would say medium skin tones. Celestial Strobe Light for skin tones similar to mine. Infinite Strobe Light, warm gold, medium deep complexions. And then Opal Strobe Light, which is for the fair skin tones with a pinky tone. So there we go. So hopefully that is all of the information that you needed to know if you were thinking about customizing a palette or taking a look at the curated palettes. I think this is a great step in the right direction when it comes to Hourglass. I really, really hope that they continue to do this. But take a look at the shades that they have available. If there are shades in the custom option, if you're in the US, that you've had your eye on, this is honestly a great opportunity to truly customize a palette to your liking for the first time in Hourglass history. So a huge shout out to Hourglass for doing this. And I don't know if this is gonna be limited edition. I'm looking right now. I really think they're kind of testing the waters here to see the response, to see if this is something that they're gonna do. It's really interesting, but I'm excited because I know you guys have been asking for it for a long time. So that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.